Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone, and good to see you. Lindy, I don't know who's Highway, Steph, Sibageng, and Tato and Nelson Lerato, welcome. Nabisa, hi. Bonkosi, I can see you guys. Welcome. Oh, it's Martha. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you. We are making progress, but it's a very small progress. But at least it is progress. I'm still waiting for Dagmar to join. Is Dagmar with us? Let me double check. Okay, I haven't seen her, so she will be joining just shortly. I'm gonna start entrepreneurs with my notes, but I'm gonna start. How have you been? Can I go one by one, or should you guys just put your hands up, and then we can start how you have been doing? Okay. Should I point fingers at people? I'll start with Nelson. Nelson, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. Nelson from Mpumalanga, right? Student accommodation.
Yes.
Great. Okay, how are you doing? How is it going?
No, there is a small progress, but at least there is progress.
Yes. So I owe you that resources sheet, which will have all, including the tools for built industry. I have been working on it. I'm just not finished. And that will also guide you. But I also provided you with the questions or the items that you should be collecting when you are identifying the deals, almost like assessing of the deals. So I think there is definitely progress. We now need to build on that, on saying what is an acceptable deals, what is not an acceptable deals to people that fund. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still working on the list. I'm gonna work on it very strongly over the weekend. I might need to contact you over the weekend for us to finish that, okay?
No, okay. Thank you very much.
And then Novisa, hi.
Hi, Precious.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Nassov.
Good. How is it going?
Things are going well for me, thank you. Just been busy. Started a new project. No complaints. Thanks.
Great. Progress on the program.
I think I will have time this weekend to catch up on the items that I fell behind on.
Okay, so it's catching up for you. Okay. Nabisa, give me a shout if you're stuck, please. Okay, Lindy, hi. Fatima, we did have a meeting last week. We will have a follow-up tomorrow, so great. How is it going? Other than that, how is it going?
Sorry, Precious. Otherwise, it's good. We've also been picking up well, and I'm just looking forward to securing some funds, because we need very much the equipment in order to help us to produce more. So that's the challenge that we're having at the moment, but otherwise we're good. Thanks, Precious.
Okay, there is Fatima, there is a flyer that I shared with you for ABSA.
I
that
think
I shared with on the notice.
Yes.
Please go on the notice. That flyer will allow you to access some funds. In your case, Fatima, you need to apply for two. You need a working capital and capex. Working capital is just for the short term for you to be able to capture the orders.
Yes.
If the orders are big, Fatima, go with the route of contract finance.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And that is not going to need a full business plan. It will only just need for that contract, how much are you going to get and what is your expense? What's your project cost?
Okay.
And then it also goes faster. So can you prioritize those? I know we're still
Yes.
working on panel beating your financial statement, being clear
Yes.
about market segment. If you are under pressure, go for those two options. Contract
Okay.
financing and also getting your banker to give you some sort of a working capital or some
Okay.
sort of an overdraft. That is what you need urgently.
Okay. I'll definitely do that, Precious.
No problem. Thank you so much, Dagmar. Welcome. How are you?
Yes, sorry, we had some load shedding and
Oh,
it took
don't
some
worry, I
time, but
know,
I'm
I
back.
know.
Hello, I'm great. Thanks very much.
No problem. Okay, so I was just catching up with some entrepreneurs that we have already been engaging and we're working on panel beating. Some of it were panel beating the actual offering, some were panel beating the setting up of their financial projections, but starting first by segmenting their current clientele and then so that they can then have a better segmentation within their financial plan. And we're also talking to other entrepreneurs that are still at building up the processes on how to find deals, those that are in the property space, but also how then do you do the business plan for a deal, what questions to ask. So it's messy, but it is starting to form shape because at least I kind of know who's doing what and how, where they stuck. So I do have also a business, few business plans that I'm gonna share some notes in relation to improvements. So Dagmar, I will let things to go first from your side. You go first with the general view, and then I will then go on specifics.
Okay, yeah, okay. And I'm then also there to answer any questions. I think what I always see is, and I always remember the times when I've done the first couple of business plans on my own. I think sometimes it helps just to step back and think about what do you think what the financiers want to see. And for most of them, the business model is key. How are you earning money with this? And I do on a regular basis, I also offer business plan reviews. And this is usually the key to success. People are not even aware about the product, really, what they are offering. They have no idea about costing. They have no idea about pricing. How can you do a financial forecast if you have no idea how many units you want to sell per month and what a unit for what you want to sell it and how much a unit will cost you? Same thing with staff. I see that lots of time, yes, we have staff and then we calculating, I don't know, 500,000 rand for salaries and wages. And then, yes, who is that? Who is there? What are they doing? What are their tasks? We have also the other way around, that people say, yes, I have here, sometimes I have even names, Precious, Dagmar, and Louisa are now part of the business and we are the staff. There's no explanation about what the three of us are doing. There's no explanation about salaries and wages. So it makes it really difficult for a financier. For most of them, you are good at the product, you love your product, you love your services, this is what you really know. That's usually what's happening to entrepreneurs. The financier now wants to see the business model behind it. I'm always straightforward and say they want to know how much money do you need, for what exactly do you need that, how will you be able to earn money, how are you able to repay it. And if you, I seen also Denise sent me a couple of business plans just to have an idea where you are stuck. And I like the Canvas business model because that usually extracts. And if you are clear in these business model, then you are able to do that and beef up your business. As long as it doesn't say, yes, I think, let me just open it, the one thing, because I saw that. Key partners, supplier of raw materials. No. Your key partners must then be build it, and I have no idea who, name them. Yeah, don't be too vague, be more specific. That is what is expected. I hope that was enough of a prep talk. I want you all to have a little bit time to ask me questions. Precious, if there's anything you want to highlight or anything you want me to dive deeper.
Yes, so I'm gonna just share some sort of a table of content for you entrepreneurs. I don't know what is happening here. Give me a second, just 1 second. I'm trying to share a document. Give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, so this is definitely the most important part, dear entrepreneurs. This is a business you're running. This is not a hobby. That means Precious, we are both on the same wavelength there, you know. So I'm always saying, okay, this is our business. We all love what we are doing, okay? And I'm sure that's something what you can see with Precious, and that's also something what you definitely also can see with me. We are passionate about helping entrepreneurs. It does not mean that we do that all for free. We have teams around us who are supporting us and helping us. So, and it needs also to be a business for you. There needs to be enough profit margin for you so that even if you're starting as a one-woman show or one-man show, and that you are then able to pay for staff, and there's still enough profit for you as the business owner. Okay. I see you shared the table of content.
Yes. And okay, so what I've noticed with the business plans that I've received, including you have to separate a business plan from your pitch deck. Your business plan is the comprehensive plan, and it's actually a detailed plan. It's not the same also as your business model canvas. Your business model canvas it's almost like a mini business plan, so that the founder can have a zoom into, okay, this is what they're doing, this is how they're creating the value, this is their segment, so that he can have an idea on where to look into deeper into your business plan. So, and I think some of you are not having this table of content in your head to tick the box and say, okay, I've done that. And when I then start zooming in to some of your, here, for example, under business goals and objectives, some of your objectives are not smart enough. So for example, you are saying, I'm going to increase the revenue in immediate term, which maybe is 3-5 years, I will increase by 50%. In your mind, it sounds specific, but it's not specific enough in terms of value. Will increase revenue by this amount. That is better than saying by 50% when you are not showing your figures of your baseline of where you are. Key highlights are basically have to be the things that you have achieved so far in your business, whatever that is. I know sometimes it's difficult for us as entrepreneurs to reflect and go to say, okay, what I have achieved so far. it might not necessarily even be big things, but it could have been where you have spent most of your time. For example, maybe in your key highlight, you could say, I've completed this course and this is what I've implemented. These are the systems I've implemented in my business. I have managed to secure a mentor or coach to assist me in building this. It doesn't have to be something that is just financial related, but it's about something that you know has a bigger value to your business. If you do have big stuff like accreditation and so on, of course, put those. But I'm saying don't only just look at small things, also look at big things, also look at the small things when you're looking at highlights, especially when you're not sure what to write. Obviously, you can cut back when you see that I actually have listed quite a lot of things. So, but make sure that the key highlights that you are referring to are actually talking to the projects and also the business that you are trying to build. It's not something that is not relevant. And I want to just highlight also is that on the background, it's one thing, the moment you start saying our business was established by this year and you say 2014, already in my mind, as a person who's reading the business plan, I'm already asking myself, okay, where are the financial figures between 2015 and up to now? And then I see a blank. You are saying year one, for example. No, you can't say year one when you're saying the business has been existing for some time. What have you been doing? What have you managed to achieve during that time, financial-wise, in terms of just building up? So just make sure that is also, you keep that in mind, that you provide a background that does not open more questions. If your business was registered or it started in 2015, but it was dormant for a specific period, rather say so and say business started during this period and then it got dormant. And then we then started having economic activity between this period and this period, and this is how far we have got. Dagmar, let me just do one session, one executive summary, and then I'm going to move to description, finish the description. Is there anything, Dagmar, that you want to add under executive summary?
Okay, so my tip is always do the executive summary after you've finished drafting the business plan.
Perfect.
Okay, because that makes most, then you can say, oh, my financial forecast shows me year one, I have 5 million rand sales. Year two, I have 10 million rand sales. Then you can say already business goals and objectives. Then you can also say, year one, I have 50 clients. Year two, I plan, the plan is 100 clients, and it will come then up to these sales. Yeah?
Perfect. Yes, definitely. So, and then on the description, Dagmar, I want to just maybe go a little bit deeper. So your legal structure should be your registration in terms of SIPs, and then the ownership is the shareholding, and you can actually even here include some sort of management arrangements that you have a management team under the business description. Product and services, great. What are the products and services you are offering, which I think all of you have done very well in this part. I think that is why Dagmar was saying, you guys do so well in this space, but you are forgetting that you're running a business and it's got it's got different things involved in it. The biggest weakness that I have picked up from the business plans that I have found, you are mixing up the market analysis and market opportunity. You are not showing to the reader of the business plan or to the funder that currently the demand is actually higher than the current supply, which then tells you about the market opportunity. And I think here, maybe you consider just putting the number of orders, maybe in the past 6 months or 12 months, that you have not been able to fulfill because you don't have sufficient capacity to handle that. You're gonna need to talk about this potential. You might actually even talk about someone maybe who has asked you for orders, or even just possible. I think before we will even say, consider even having someone who might just place not an order as such, but give you some sort of a letter that they will actually buy from you should you have your product ready. And also maybe you can actually show here even the potential in terms of what are the trends? What are the trends in your market showing? You can use Google search for that in terms of that. So, but you're gonna need to demonstrate that there is a market for this business. Dagmar, do you want to add anything under description?
Yes, I would also separate here the market opportunity and the market analysis. Market opportunity is the market opportunity for your specific business in this specific location. The market research industry overview is for everybody else, also for your competitors. Yeah?
Yes.
So this is how I would, maybe just for to clarify this, so so this market opportunity is more for your business, your contacts, your expertise. And we all have, even if some of you are maybe in the same market, you still have little bit different expertise, skill sets, access to market that needs to be more here. And everything in general is more under market analysis. That's for everybody in this specific market the same.
Yes, yes. So market opportunity, you're right, that market opportunity can't be generic. You can't tell me about South African market. No, no, no. You have to tell me about the people that you have made contact with that have said we're interested in your product, we're interested to your service.
Yes. So that's the demand you can fulfill, not the demand you can't. And she is just to.
Yes, I'm saying the demand that you are saying I can't fulfill because I don't have sufficient capital. I want to expand, or I need. It's almost like you're saying here are the needs of my customers. It's a needs of my customers.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, and then when you move to the market analysis, I really would like you to think about your business in terms of market research at the overall first. And then you can take this at the country view and the industry overview, but then go to your target market. So let me make an example. You can't say, for example, you run a bookkeeping services. In your bookkeeping services, you then are targeting all SMMEs. That is not a target market. However, when you say I am targeting agro-processing businesses, or I am targeting farmers, or I am targeting build construction as my clients, you now are talking to the target market. And then within that target market, you can then say, you know what, this target market, I will then segment them. I will segment them. You remember, when you segment, you can segment by revenue, you can segment by the location, you can segment also by specific, you can also even do it by subsector, for example. So maybe if you're looking at the built industry, then the subsector could be, I'm going to deal with construction, and then I'm going to deal with professionals like quantity surveyors, So it's almost like you are now looking at, because your marketing should also talk to this. Your strategy should also talk to this. So those are the things that I think entrepreneurs, if you can just understand that it's one thing to say, I am targeting SMMEs, you gotta need to go come back to the focus on the niche and say, okay, in this target market, how I'm gonna segment that market and then build up on that. The competitive analysis should also then be about based on your unique selling proposition, based on your value proposition, how are you intending to now attract and retain these customers? And that is all very important. And then leading then to your marketing and sales. Dagmar, do you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, maybe only crisp and short. Lots of times I hear people saying we don't have competitors. Usually having competitors is a good thing because it means there is a market available already for your product and services, and you don't need to educate everybody of what you want to offer. And then my other comment regarding competitors would also be, have a look at competitors. They are similar in size. Yeah. So don't use, I don't know, what are the big, you are in construction and you are you're just starting. You can't compare yourself to, is it I don't know, or the South African company, WBO or something like this. You know, these big construction companies, these are not really your competitors. Be clear about that.
I love what you've just said, Dagmar. I see it also all the time. People putting big companies as a competitor. You are a new entry. Those are not your competitors. So rather do a research to Google to put your products and services and see who comes up within your local area. Then, because that is your competitor. Great point, Dagmar, on that. And then obviously that builds into your more detail now of your organizational structure. So on the top, when we're talking about a background on the ownership, it's really about shareholding. But if your business is owner managed, you will need to touch a little bit on the management team. Now, on the organizational structure, the most important part is that what you are putting in terms of your finances, in terms of your payroll, must talk to this organizational structure that you have. What I have noticed in some of your business plan, you are putting the structures and the people, how much people are going to be earning, but it does not talk to the revenue and the value that you are bringing into the business. You can't give someone a 5,000 rand salary if the value that they're bringing in the business does not come times 3 that. Because you're supposed to be running what? A business. You are not just there you are not here to create jobs. You're supposed to make sure that the business ends up with some sort of profit. Because if then there is no profit, no one then is going to actually invest into the business. Key personnel, you based on your business model, you can decide in this organizational structure whether you are outsourcing that or you are keeping that in-house. You don't need to have fully fledged staff. You can also have service providers that you're bringing on board actually in this space, as long as you are very clear on how will that affect your processes and your system. Key partners, very important, especially if those key partners are going to give you a leverage or a competitive advantage to others in the market. Maybe they're going to give you, let's just say, maybe you are creating a software and the key partners have a database, you have partnered with them, they have a database, and both of you are targeting the same entrepreneurs, but it allows you to be able to present to that database or to those people. And again, that it has to be directly linked to the partnership, directly linked to you having access or able to sell your offering to those things. The advisory boards or even just a governance structure, when your business is new, you might just think, you know what, I'd rather have a mentor. That is also fine. It doesn't necessarily have to have a full board or even an advisory board, while it's also advisable to have one. Dagmar, do you want to add anything on that, on the organizational structure? What have you picked up on that?
So what I know from financier's point of view, that if you are lacking some specific expertise or skills, then it can be important for them that you add this person with the skills under key personnel, including CV. Let's say you want to manufacture some, I don't know, some pharmaceutical drugs, and you are maybe more experienced in sales, but you have absolutely no idea about production. They definitely would like to have then somebody who is the responsible for production, a production manager, including CV in your application. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dagmar. Yes.
Yeah, nothing else. I think yes.
Yeah, also, okay, so I've covered the stuff. Product and service line. Dagmar, you wanna go first on this one?
Yes. So I think most of the time this is definitely not a big problem. People have a good idea. What I see in some cases that sometimes I'm reading business plans from A to Z, and I still don't have an idea about what they want to offer. Okay. So make that clear also for people with no expertise and skills out of your business. I just had yesterday a meeting with somebody who wants to do some medical devices. You know, if you go to the dentist and they put all these screws in your jaws, that's what he wanted to offer. I had no idea what he was talking about. Only at the end he added some pictures, and I thought, now I understand. Make sure this is quite early clear. Make sure it is, when it's complicated, use pictures. But also don't be too vague. You know, I see lots of times people say, yes, we are in the construction industry and we want to offer construction, and that's it. That's not a product description. It needs to be really more clear. We're concentrating on, I don't know, low-cost housing, residential. We want to build malls, or we concentrate on infrastructure, or we want to build big stadiums. Yeah. Try to be, I know it's difficult in the beginning. I've been there too. I understand that. Try to be a little bit more precise and detailed what you really want to offer, because only then you're also able to put some prices and some costing on it. If you have any IP, of course. I also like to have under product and services if there are any permits or licenses even required. Yeah, we know that construction, you need to have the oh God, HB. Sorry, my day was hectic here.
Yes.
You know all what I mean.
HBRC.
My brain is fried, I think. So, and you know, so mention these things. We secured this. We secured the license to grow cannabis, or you know, we are aware of that we need a license from the Department of Mineral, and it is submitted already, or in the process, or you need an FSP license. And whatever you have, lots of times we're asking our clients, do you need permits and licenses? And they say, yes, we have them in place. No, these are the licenses we have in place, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's detailed enough. Usually that's not a big problem. The topics I covered, I think, are most of the time the challenges.
Yeah, perfect. I feel the same. This is the area, product line. I think entrepreneurs generally are quite comfortable here. However, I need you, when your business is in a production, takes like almost like a certain time. Keep in mind, what are your lead time? What are your production time? Your stock movement, especially if you're in manufacturing, because when you have that in your product line and you are saying to your customers, place an order, we will fulfill it within this period. When I am now looking at your cash flow projections, I will keep those things in mind to work it out. Why then are you still having a cash flow a negative? You know, so, and it is therefore very important that when you are looking at this section, you're talking about your production, how your project, in this case, other people will talk about project management. You gotta need to talk to the specific on how efficient your systems are and your processes that you have in place. And if you don't have those processes and systems in place, estimate them based on your experience, but then put measures to make sure that you meet them. Because when I'm then reading your cash flow, I want to see why are you still short? What is your working capital versus what should you have on your cash flow? And does that mean you need a short-term funding, or do you need a longer funding? And that is very important to the funder. Including future development, guys, just keep that in mind, because it tells you whether your business is growing or is your business not necessarily growing. Are you then only just maybe in terms of your product life cycle growing and starting to scale or not? Because some other businesses, they might actually have a product life cycle that is already at maturity. Dagmar, you want to start on the sales, and then I will add if there's anything.
Okay, yes, I see here Bodiva had a question. Government financial institutions, business advisors. Do you mean people they are working at the government institutions? They can't write business plans or marketing strategies. No, I'm not too sure. They maybe don't need to, but they are doing the shortlisting. I really don't understand. Please, can you clarify this? Just please write down if you mean people working at government institutions, and then after the sales, I come back to you there. Yeah. Okay, sales and marketing strategies. Yes, definitely. What I can see when I do business plan reviews, that you need to have a clear strategy. If you want to plan now to set up a factory, a plant, and you want to manufacture, let's keep it easy, toilet paper, and you want to manufacture, I don't know, 20,000 rolls of toilet paper a day. I have no idea if this is realistic or not. So it makes no sense to sell them one-on-one on the streets. Yeah, you are selling yourself dizzy. You need to sell in bulk. So that means your sales strategy is to sell it to wholesaler, to sell it to retailers. That is your sales strategy. If you are a wholesaler, your sales strategy is to sell to retailer. If you're a retailer, your sales strategy should usually be to sell to end user. Don't mix that up. Each and every target market has different requirements. How you need to treat them has different ways to get the distribution done. So I usually highly recommend, yes, be aware of your value chain, so that you know, because also the marketing strategy is different. I had somebody who wanted to do manufacture parts for Toyota, for the vehicle. And his great idea was to have a billboard on the streets. It makes absolutely no sense. There's only a couple of people. They are the buyers at Toyota. You need to go directly to them, knock on their doors, and say, "This is what I want you to do." I'm sure, this is why all these things are here under one chapter, because your sales strategy, your target market determines your sales strategy, determines your marketing strategy, of course also determines your pricing strategy, because you need to charge the end user more than the wholesaler, and then more than the retailer, more than the wholesaler. And lots of people are desperate and think, oh, let me just sell directly to the end user, and they burn their own markets because the retailer and the wholesaler will not buy from you anymore because you're destroying the value chain. Yeah. It's more stringent, definitely in Germany than it is here in South Africa. You are a little bit more mixed, but I highly recommend to be there clear about what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, I love what you've said. I was trying to make notes, expanding on what you've articulated. You need to match your marketing strategy to your target customer. Not all businesses need to have a fly. Not all businesses need to have a billboard. But there are certain type of products and offering that can be on the billboard. If you're offering B2B, and it's not professional services, maybe something like what you're offering, let's just say you're selling cell phones, having a billboard makes sense, but not necessarily having a fly, because you have to keep in mind, what questions does a buyer have when they buy my product? What is their buying patterns? What do they consider when they buy my product? What assurances are they looking for when they are buying my products and services? Based on that, you then have to build up your sales strategy and marketing. Now, I also want to say that when you're not clear about your target market, you're also not going to be able to send through the right message to the right person because you don't know who you're targeting. Let's continue with the example I made. You are providing bookkeeping services and you're being generic, you're saying all SMMEs. Whereas if you have said, for example, I want to focus on my niche, it's only retailers and wholesaler businesses. You can now start building up a target market group where you are going on Google and say, I want a wholesale businesses in my area. And then from that, you build up a database so that you can then go and sell your products and services. You can now be very niche also in customizing your products and your offering to that specific market. I also want to talk about your pricing strategy. Generally, most entrepreneurs, they will say the only way to enter the market is to actually reduce the price. They don't understand that reducing the price below the market, it makes the buyer to question the quality and also if you're gonna actually even deliver. I want you, when you are thinking about lowballing, be strategic about your lowballing. Say it's a lowballing, but I have increased my volume, but it's because I want to build up my profile. But you also do it within a specific time. And also be very clear to the client, even on your invoicing, to show that what's the real price and what is the discount you're giving them. And as I said, so that it's very clear that what you're offering, it's a special thing. It's not necessarily something that talks to everything. Distribution channels. The challenge that I have, some of you, for example, the business plan that I was also reviewing just before we started, you having big volume of the volume that you want to sell on your sales projection, but you are not providing who you're going to be selling these things to, and what is their request, what is their demand, what is the stock volume that they are looking at. So if, for example, you are selling maybe highlighters, as a stationery, and you having millions that you're gonna need to sell because of the value of a highlight, you have to articulate who are you gonna be selling and how much are you expecting those people to be ordering from you, and where are you in your negotiations, and how are you gonna drive the sales so that you can sell the stuff. It's not just ends up in the marketing and it doesn't actually end up being a closed deal. Promotion must talk to the advertising, as we have just articulated, and the distribution channel. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we have positioned ourselves as a manufacturer, but we are selling direct to the customer. Remember, there is a whole list of people in between the manufacturer and the customer. Stay away. Okay, I think I've missed one here. Stay away from want to be everything into the value chain. Position yourself only strategically. Don't try to be everything in the value chain. I want to just also highlight some of you are asking for whatever millions you are looking for, but you have not even made 100,000. You gotta need to ask yourself, what is the lowest cost possible? How can I get first samples or demos, and then I use the demos to then go and get more customers? You're not gonna get 100 million or for even if 500,000 when you have not been even producing even 20,000. You gotta need to start somewhere. Yeah. That's what I
Okay.
wanted to
Let me just add, just for clarity, two things. If you are offering a service, the bookkeeping service for wholesaler and what was it, retailer,
Yeah.
you are known as a specialist then. That means out of a sudden you're also able to charge more.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because you're not doing bookkeeping for Tom, Dick, and Harry. You really are a specialist. You know how to do these things. And the more you do, of course, bookkeeping for a wholesaler and retailer, the better. One other thing is what I always explain, don't be the cheapest in the market. Precious said that. Let me explain also to you why. What happens? You're the cheapest in the market. You are attracting customers. They are usually the difficult ones. These are the ones who go around every half a year and figure out who's the cheapest. These are usually the ones they are also really demanding. Yeah. You want somebody who is valuing your expertise and your skills. So, yes, that's also something. Then let me just see. There was CEDA, IDC, all the business administrators can't write or compile. They can, but they don't want to. You know, they can't do a business plan and they apply with themselves. That's not possible. And that's also not their job. Their job is to assess a business plan. So I think that is maybe clear. Stephanie Jacobs, I'm working on generating income via training facilitating within my business. As all funders for services in my profession cater for 51% BE. Okay, let me know what question you have.
Hi, Dagmar. Thank you so much. And hello to everyone. Thank you for the call. Yes, you know what? I have applied, I followed the program, and I did everything, and my business plan is in place, and my market research has been done. I've been in business for 13 years. I spoke to Precious on the previous call. It's been a journey for me to actually just go through with my niche market, which is wholesale and retail. Most of my clients are in wholesale and retail. I've got quite a lot of expertise in the area. And therefore, I have done a course and I'm actually still busy with it. We are finishing in the first week of December in terms of digitalization, digital marketing, business strategy in terms of talking to your target market and stuff like that. So I am busy with that currently. I did do the applications to funding in terms of my business specifically. But yeah, I am hitting a wall at this stage. A lot or most of the funders that can cater for my type of services and my needs require 51% Black
Yes,
ownership.
that's correct.
So
They just changed it in the beginning of the year. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So at this stage, funding for me personally in my business is a bit of a thing. I don't want to go to the banks necessarily because that's expensive money. It's expensive funding. But I do have some avenues in terms of angel investors. Due to me being in the business for so long, I do have quite a few people that will be willing to invest as angel investors in my business in order for me to grow, because they know in the long run they get services from me, and
Okay.
I
So what is your,
yeah.
sorry, I know we only have another 8 minutes. Sorry
Okay.
to interrupt. So what is your question here at the moment, what I can answer, or Precious?
Yeah, look, I really don't have actually a question. I actually
Okay,
just wanted to contribute and say thank you for the program. I've learned such a lot and it's helped my business such a lot. And
nice.
thank you for your contribution, what you do for our small businesses in the country, for everyone.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Stephanie. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting here. I just wanted to make sure that I know we need to go here through the next ones. Yes,
Yeah,
CEDA
we still have a
IDC. No,
long
they,
list.
yeah.
Yeah, Dagmar, is it okay if we leave the chat box? Entrepreneurs, please put your notes on the chat box. We're going to deal with them at the end. Let's rather let Dagmar just go through these last 5 items with us. I will add afterwards. Dagmar, please run through them, and then I will add if there's anything that you've left out
Okay.
on the funding requirements and funding projections and operations.
Okay. Funding requirements. This is I always say this is not Christmas. Okay, so it's not, oh, how much can I get, or oh, I assume I need 5 million rand. If you want to raise capital, doesn't matter where you go, they want quotes, they want clear idea for what you need the money. You are usually able to also get some working capital if it is in a realistic time frame. This also depends always on your business. I keep in mind what I'm always explaining. I say you start repaying your loan end of month one. So that means you need to have everything ready. It's not, oh, now I have the money, now let's me figure out how this is going to work. You're getting now your, I don't know, million rand, and now you know you need to order this, you go there, you sign this agreement, so everything needs to be in place. You need to be ready. You're paying interest rate even from government institutions. They are definitely similar than the commercial banks. There is not a big difference. The only difference is that government institutions finance 90%, banks would only finance 40 to 50%. So that's why this is important. Have your financial projections, cash flow forecast, or that is underneath there, or what is all included. So we go there in the second. Be clear about your funding needs. If possible, show also that you are adding some own contribution. Why? Funders want to see that you're moving your butt. Yeah, they want to see that you believe in your idea. They want to see that if this fails, you are also willing to risk some of your own money and not only money from somebody else. Okay, financial projections, yes. Revenue projections. Again, don't say I estimate I'm having 100,000 rand sales in month 1. It needs to be clear. So many units, you know, for that amount of rent. Your expenses need to be clear. No estimation, no salaries and wages are 2.5 million. I used all the numbers I had today in the business plans I had a look at. You know, salaries and wages, 2.5 million rand. But nobody knows for whom this is, what they are doing in this business, and so specific is the key to success. And let me tell you, it looks annoying at the moment. I totally understand this. We are all entrepreneurs here. We are doers, you know. But if these numbers here, if you are not in control of them, this will show you the success of your business. If you are not in control of them, if you are not double checking month 1, oh, I'm on track, month 2, I'm on track. I'm even checking in our business, I'm checking daily. I know exactly what is our daily break even, and we make sure that we are always above break even. Yeah. And that's why you need to have the forecast, because then you are in control of everything. I'm sure I don't need to explain what a profit and loss statement is, what a cash flow statement is, what the balance sheet is. But these are definitely portions. They need to be in the financial forecast. Loan repayments usually needs to be in there. I've seen lots of times business plans where there is not even repayment of loan included, no interest rate, nothing. Yeah, we're making a profit. Yes, but not if you need to repay the loan. You want to end something there now at the moment? Nope. Okay. Go a little bit further up, then I have a look there what's happening. We can't hear you. I'm not too sure what's happening there.
Oh, yeah, apologies. Go ahead because you are running out of time. I will go back and add additional more notes. Thank you so much, Dagmar.
Okay. Operations plan, your location, your facilities. It's not, yes, there will be a factoring in Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga is quite big, you know, so, and the financiers want to see exactly this, the plan. You have an offer to lease, you have an offer to purchase in place. You need to explain, yes, there's 100 square meters office, and then they will ask you, how can you have 100 staff? You know, so make sure the equipment you want to buy fits into your workshop. You have the 3-phase, what you maybe need if you have a manufacturer. Show the processes, your operation processes, your manufacturing processes. In some cases, you always need to have the outlay of the factory so that they can see where do you want to have the equipment and the machine. Your supply chain management, yes, if it's relevant, add that. Technology and equipment, these are the assets you want to buy. This is the investment you want to make. Be specific. Don't just say you want to buy 3 trucks. Say what sort of trucks these are, you know. So that's why these things are important. I mentioned that before already. It's now mentioned here. There is no right or wrong, you know. So where you put these things, it just needs to make sense to you and fit in there. Your legal, your regulatory compliance, your permits, your licenses. Maybe you want to open a restaurant, you need a liquor license. You need to mention these here. Don't say, yes, we will have all licenses. Be specific. Risk analysis. Have a look at the risk. Determine the risk. And then, of course, also think about how you want to mitigate it. This is quite difficult. This is also difficult for us. Okay. So, and it will take a little bit of time also to come up. Don't be too broad. Try to be as specific as possible. You know, all our market risk is at the moment there's another COVID and we are all under lockdown. Okay. And let's be honest, there is no mitigation strategies. You can't even ensure these things. But yeah, that's life, you know. But operational risk would be, let's say, load shedding. You know, how do you? So that's why you are also plan to buy a generator, or that's why you are planning to go into an industrial zone, because they have the generators. You know, so think about it. Financial risk is also how do you handle if somebody is not paying you, or financial risk would be that your supplier is from abroad, and now under financial risk you have the exchange rate fluctuation as a risk. Yeah. And then in some cases you can have insurance for it. In other cases, yes, we see there is a risk. That's why we are always looking on a daily basis. If the rand to euro is changing, if it is changing, we know we need to raise our prices for the products. Yes, and then absolutely important, you don't need to add this and directly and copy it into the business plan. I would not recommend this, but you can have a list in your business plan and say, here is my CV, market research data. If you can have that in the business plan, you can have that also outside. Definitely your CIPC, your IDs, your lease agreements, your offer to lease, your offer to purchase, the quotations for all the equipment you want to buy. Yeah, these are the most important parts. And at the end, of course, references. When you do some research, don't forget that to also add that, or offtake agreements. If you secured some existing agreements, if you have a permit, FSP license, maybe put that in there, so that what these documents. So we do this for as part of our business. We assist companies raising capital. One of the biggest time what we are spending is we're going to the business plan, we're having a look at the documentations, and then making sure that everything is consistent. Can't be that your lease agreement is from location A, and in the business plan you talk about your target market of location B. Yeah, then this doesn't fit together. Take your time. These is it's tedious, it is annoying in some cases, I totally get this. And but you want to, number one is will help you, it helps you to get clarity. It develops it's a little bit of an action plan. You have the possibility later on to have a look, okay, so our sales is like this, and but in the business plan we assumed we are now at double the sales. What is not working here? Yeah. And then this is always a document in progress. There is nothing cast in stone. Environment is always changing. Things we assume is working are not working, and your job is on a daily basis to make things work. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Dagmar. Guys, do you have any specific questions for Dagmar? I see that there is comments by Klabodiwe. So I have seen your business plan, Klabodiwe, when I was in Northern Cape. The challenge with your business plan, I think you need 14, what you wanted 14 million. Please unmute yourself. Or can someone unmute you? Yeah, whatever amount that you are looking for. what you don't understand is that there is already products in the market that are alternative, sort of an alternative to yours. You now need to produce samples first to then go and demo. You can't ask for 14 million to produce or set up a plant when you have not proven to the market that there is a demand. And you can't use somebody else's demand to say this thing is being sold or it's being offered, or you are actually gonna be able, because you have not done it when. It's gonna be you who's doing it. So I can't go and say, for example, as Precious, I'm selling something like what? Auditing services. Because Ernst & Young is selling auditing service. Does that mean as Precious still registered under the same professional board, I'm gonna have the sales, the auditing? No, it doesn't mean that. You must, one, you must have an experience in that thing. Two, you must have done it somehow. If you can't do it, get someone, outsource the manufacturing and build the leads, build the demand, build the customer. Focus on maybe be an agent that sell the products and services that are already there, just for you to prove that there is a market. Yeah, I hope.
There is a market, doesn't mean there's that's a market you can access. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, can I explain? Can I explain myself? I think you didn't have time. You didn't check my business plan in detail. You just browse. I just want to clarify that. Dagmar, I really struggle on how government is trying to say they are developing businesses, right?
I'm the
Can I
wrong
make you an
person to
example?
discuss this.
No, I just want to explain
Yes,
my case in terms of when I made.
How about you? Can I request this? Can you send your business plan and with your supporting documents to Dagmar for review? Because my conclusion on it was what I've just shared. Share that with Dagmar.
No, you didn't see the whole business plan. You browsed through the business plan. I want to make just the point according to what I've experienced in terms of when these people are saying they are funding businesses. I'm in the solar industry, right? And the solar industry is just a new industry in South Africa. It's not even more than 12 years that these solar plants have been built. So Dagmar, I wanted to build a solar cell phone charger, and of which I know there are already such products on the shelf, you know. But
Yes.
where is it confusing? Where is it confusing? Government says that they want renewable energy ideas, you know, and then they want to fund those ideas. We produce such ideas, but they are not self-founded. And then you find officials within government that says, no, this thing is already on the market. But it's very confusing. Why do you have to say that you fund renewable energy ideas? And when we come with the ideas and the innovation of those things, now it's again a problem that those things are in the market. Can I make you an example? Do you know Batu, the guy that has just recently made his own pairs of sneakers? How many sneakers are there already with different kinds of names on the shelf? You know,
Okay,
there
so
are sneakers with different names.
I haven't seen the business plan. Okay, so
Yeah.
and I know that. I'm always what I'm trying here. Okay, I'm always trying. These are the rules and regulations. This is the field I need to play. Let me see. I play the field like they ask. Yeah, that's why we have an 80% success rate. We are also picky with what we are taking on. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and so 14 million rand is no peanuts anymore. That's lots of money. And usually what you need to have to be successful in raising capital you need some own contribution, and you need to have some offtake agreements in place, people who will buy from you, not one-on-one, but in bulk, definitely as a manufacturer. Like Precious offered that to you. I stand with her offer. I'm more than happy to have a look at it and see if there's anything what you can do. They also, at the government institutions, that's their job. They have tick lists, they need checklists, they need to tick. That's what they need to do there. Do I also sometimes think, oh God, what stupid questions are you asking? Yes, I'm straightforward, but we need to make sure that we fit into their rules and regulations. It's never ever going to happen other way around. Wherever you are in the world, same thing in Germany. You need to follow their rules and regulations. They will not change the rules and regulations to fit you in. Yeah?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
agree with you, Dagmar. It's not of dialogue. What I'm saying is that, it's very confusing that people are said that they must come up with the business plans, but at the very same time, you want to be compared with somebody who has already made his profits in the businesses, in the different sectors that I'm trying to say. I cannot be compared with a wholesale called maybe Macro that is selling those things. I want to manufacture them locally, and my value chain is going to be local. It's not something that is going to be imported from Australia or American, all of those things. So those things are confusing when it comes to say that government says they are developing businesses. They are not developing businesses. They want ready-made businesses already that have made profit, that can show their financial statements
That's
and
not my
financial projections.
experience I have.
Okay.
That's
okay,
not the
okay,
experience that I
yeah.
have.
Okay,
Yeah?
I give you my experience.
Yes.
I give you the experience that I got. You understand?
Yeah, no, but
Can
that's,
I
I
do
think,
this? Can I
I
do
think
this?
that is not relevant here at the moment. What we try to do is we are trying to help you here, Precious and
Mm.
me, to get your business plan over the line. Okay. So, and it makes no sense. You can shout about everything here, so, and it will not change. These are the rules and regulations here. You need to obey by them. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to explain.
My suggestion is that maybe if he can just share with you, Dagmar, the business plan and stuff. As I said, those are the areas that when I was paging through, and he's right, I didn't analyze the business plan, but I did page through to pick up what is it that he has put in place and how far he is on that. And I think as far as I'm concerned, there is a need to actually go and get the orders. Go and get the orders while you are getting to finalize the requirements for the need, so that people can then see that actually there is a demand that can actually be generated. Dagmar, is there anything else that you need here that you want to say? I want to just go through some notes in the items that you've covered before you go.
Let me just, there are two people asking regarding marketing strategies. One marketing strategy, easy peasy, Facebook. Go into Facebook, have a Facebook business page, and then go to all your groups in your area and offer your services and products.
Who's
Most
asking for Facebook?
Nobody's asking for Facebook. So Leila and Pindila are asking for marketing
yes.
strategies.
Yes. Okay. So again, though, entrepreneurs, just keep in mind that if you are selling to individuals who are in business, it is better to go to LinkedIn. But if you are selling to individual, which is B2C, definitely Facebook and also Twitter, especially when you're talking about engagement on that, definitely. But Facebook is the best because you are able to segment your market. Now, the other thing, Dagmar, that I wanted to cover that you spoke about, the financial projections. Ladies and gentlemen, financial projections should be based on your customer segment, based on the buying patterns, of your customers. It cannot be thumbs up. Financial projection is based on what? On your buying patterns of your target market, of your customers. You can't just say, Precious, I'm going to have 20 million of this. It's 20 million. If I take the 20 million related to how many customers you said you're going to buy, it must talk to the number of units that specific customer buys in general. Okay, the other part that I want to raise, funding needs and funding sources. So funding needs, look at, say, I need 14 million, but within this 14 million, working capital, there is also CapEx in it. There is also even your own contribution in it. So just think about what are the things I need to buy. If the things you want to buy are long-term, then that is what we call a long-term funding. So which means that it's more likely to be asset or long-term or a bond. And then if it's a short-term, just again, ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? And what is my working capital cycle to then talk to your short-term requirements. Okay, I'm happy with the projections. Yes, and also the expenses. Okay, I don't want to cover that. That you've already covered quite well, Dagmar. Thank you. And supply chain management. That is important, especially when you're dealing with stock management and the number of times the stock will. And I think Dagmar has covered everything. Let me just rather look at the chart box. I like the way you covered the risk, Dagmar. Thank you so much. I think you actually even have a legal, you had legal and compliance risk.
Yes.
Okay. Entrepreneurs, I will share this list with you so that you can use it as your guide. Okay. Yeah, I think from that, Dagmar, we are well in. Let me start looking at the chat box. Now Njabule Zulu is saying, I'm trying to find funding for arts, visual arts, wondering what are the rules. Okay, I'm gonna give it a badge, or Dagmar, do you wanna give it a badge?
This is really difficult. Okay, so I know there are sometimes some specific funds available. The challenge is with the funds for arts and is usually that they're having a specific window. Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what you're doing, Jabulo. And always keep in mind, my expertise is in business finance. So whatever you want to do, it needs to be some sort of business. So, and I can tell you also there is for TV, there's for film, DTI offers there some funds. I think even IDC offers there some funds. It just make sure, maybe let me just go also for Gao Budiva. I know it's frustrating. I hear you. I understand that. But you always need to think about what is your goal. Your goal is to win. And now it makes no sense to fight, because if you start fighting, you will not win against the institutions. Yeah. So you need to think about, okay, let me go back. Let me see what do they want. Let me see how I can fit into that. And again, not each and every great business idea is fundable. I had that so many times where I thought, absolutely stunning idea. I love that. And I can tell, but I need to also tell you, you will not be able to finance that. There will be no private financier, no investor, no bank. It will be really, really challenging. And then it's up to you to decide, do you want to go the hard way and try this? Or do you say, you know what, I need to earn some money. I still have that on my vision board. If I earn some money and then I will finance that on my own. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. So Dagmar, my suggestion is that, Njabulo, you're gonna need to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, who's your target market for your arts and visual arts? If you are targeting, for example, corporate, for their events or for their, we are targeting interior decorators, and you then need to say to yourself, okay, if then I have a contract, then I would be able to raise what? A contract what? Financing. If, and that is easy, you can then do, because you now have an order. Start with your customer. Let your customer guide you on how to raise a capital to fulfill their needs, their demand. And I'm adding what Dagmar has already told you, but I'm just saying, consider focusing on the customer. Maybe right now, the reason why you've been struggling, you don't necessarily have a target market. Maybe have a target market first and then sell to the target market and then find what is their lead time. How can you do the work? Because majority of your cost, again, should be driven by your business model, whether it's going to be your time or is it going to be the material. It's going to depend on your business. But whichever it is, then let that customer be the one that fund some of your expense as you are building up. So I had a client who does craft, who's in the arts. She does portraits. She also does pottery and sculptures. She has made a decision that she only gonna do corporate. She has got more than 20 years of experience in the arts. And then when I sat down with her and working out a business plan for her and how she should raise capital, it was very easy when she had worked out a target, because we then said, we agreed that she does need a plant because she needs to dry these sculptures and stuff. But that plant is going to be informed by the orders she received. She also intends to do exhibition. So even that production, we're now saying, your exhibition, we need to know the items, how much will be the items, how are you going to price it, how are you going to make sure that you can export some of the things, how can you partner with Proudly SA, Darida, and a whole list. So your strategy must be based on your customer, but your customer must then direct you on how you should raise capital so that your business can grow. I hope, Njabula, that makes sense. Is Jabula still with us? Okay,
Just-
no one's saying anything. We are engaged on Jabul.
I think he or she said they had some problems with the he can hear us but not talk, I think.
That is fine. At least there's a recording. We're gonna back it up on YouTube, this recording. Valela has got a question. Hi, Precious and Dagmar. Is having a factory shop for individual in a mini factory where I sell bulk and also there distributing. Valela, I can't get your question properly, but are you then saying you're gonna have a factory shop for individuals next to your mini shop? Again, if you have set yourself as a factory shop, why would you sell to the individual? Guys, just remember, when you're in a manufacturing space, you are selling volumes. Volumes you're not going to get from the individuals. It doesn't matter how many individuals are you going to attract to your store. When you're in manufacturing, you're selling what? Volume. So sell to the people that buys from you in volumes, not the other way around. Remember, a customer is someone who buys from you all the time, not just in random or once off. Okay, he can hear us. Okay, I think I am. Pindile say, may you please guide on the marketing strategy for manufacturing business in rural place and villages selling to the. Again, Pindile, I'm repeating myself. Why would you be in a manufacturing and then you are selling to individuals. If you are manufacturing, you should be selling to the store, a distributor, or agencies. You should have agencies whom might actually either keep your consignment stock or they buy the stuff from you. And then if you're a manufacturer, you shouldn't be selling using a flyer in the first place. Maybe a billboard will work. But even if you are manufacturing bricks, you should be selling to property developers. You should be selling to construction companies, not necessarily selling to individuals, because that's a once-off sale. Right.
Yeah, that would be hard in the long run. Yes. But like I said, Facebook is a good way to go.
Yeah.
And then, and not everybody is your customer, you know? So also just be aware of that. Somebody who's illiterate will be difficult in any case. And then also billboards will not really help. I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So yes, follow their template, follow their guidelines, work through, clean up your document to tick all the boxes. And when they say change here, change as much as possible without you though compromising your business in terms of now it has changed the shape to a point that it's no longer that business. Figure out how to fit, but without necessarily just changing and overhauling everything there, because then sometimes you might actually end up losing what exactly were you trying to do. So just take it and understand that not everyone is going to be your funder. Not everyone is going to be your funder the same way not everyone is going to be your customer. Guys, I think on our side, that's all I could share with you, and I'm going to share these notes with you. Please, this is generic. You will still need to look at what the funders guideline in funding you or what templates do they have in place and use the template. Please try to make sure that when you have gaps, either in your management team or in your ownership, try to see if the experience and your qualification also suit the industry that you are targeting. Please try by all means, and if it doesn't, outsource that skill or that bits that is actually missing in your business. I think I've covered generally the documents. Okay, is anything else? Can we then close?
Looks like there are no more questions. That is good. So now all the business plans will be perfect.
Yeah, I generally say all of it's a work in progress. I mean, I was submitting my business plan this week to ABSA and NEF, and I've just realized I sent them the wrong version.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Make sure you number the versions.
yeah.
Number the versions. Whenever you do a
think it's
change, you do
right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So keep the old ones on your computer. One thing what we all do, but we are numbering them, and not because what do we do in the beginning? I said new version, and then there was new version, and then I thought, okay, it's not gonna work. Number.
I just realized just few minutes before you said, so guys, the stuff we're sharing with you is because we are also ourselves are expert, and Dagmar has done it 100 times. Dagmar has done more than 6 of my clients and my business
Yep.
plans. So I know Dagmar's work. So I'm saying when you are stuck and you have done your part, you feel, you know what, I've done all that I can, get her to review. It's only 550. So please send her and say, Dagmar, have a look. Please give me some pointers on how can I present this better. Yeah, I didn't get your service, Dagmar, this time. I did the stuff myself. And guess what? I sent the wrong version.
Yeah, you know what? You just need to make sure. Just go as quickly as possible back to them and say, here, make sure there's a number on it. That's the latest version. These things
Yes,
happen,
put
you
a
know.
date
So
on it when you released it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. And just also understand you are a work in progress. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Fix the things that you are now aware of. And I had also made sure that on your notes, what questions to expect, how to then, you now need to figure out how you answer it for your business. And if it poses a risk, put it on your risk register and put what are the mitigation. And if the mitigation can't be, is not there, still articulate, you know what, at this point, we have not come up with a way of dealing with it. Transparent is actually the best way to deal with it. And just remember, nobody's perfect. We're all work in progress. So just keep on working on it. I'm gonna be, by end of this program, I'm probably gonna have, I will have finished at least 3 business plans. So you guys, you're still struggling with issuing just 1 business plan. Please keep on pushing and work very hard. And those who have secured time with me, please continue with that. If you want time, DM me, let's talk through, let me guide you where I can. And what I'm going to be offering is based on my experience, 20 odd years in finance and also in general business, and having audited and reviewed different and also judged some of the business plans when we are actually assisting funders. So, and you decide whether you take it or you don't, because at the end of the day, it's your business. We're just here to guide you to say what are the baby steps to get to the millions you're looking for. And we are really saying, when you're asking for millions, you should at least be making thousands. And it's about baby step. It's about also using the resources you've already got to generate money. If there's nothing that is being generated, I will also not gonna trust if you are actually gonna be able to deliver on what you are saying you're gonna deliver. Okay, I think that's, thank you so much. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. We'll talk on WhatsApp. Thank you. Bye.
pleasure, everybody. Thanks,
Thank
Precious.
you, Dagmar. Thank you. Lots of love.
Yeah, there are lots of people. So Leila, thanks so much.
Thank
Grantham, thanks so much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
And Pindile also, yes, work on it. Fatima, pleasure. I'm definitely having fun with this. Okay. Pleasures, Stephanie. Bongi Cozy, pleasure. Lindy, was a pleasure. There are so many people now. Sabelo, pleasure. Mr. Huwai. Oh no, Marta. Thank you. Take good care, everybody. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm posting, guys, the link and the template, that the stuff that we're discussing. Bye.
Thank you, Dagmar.